What's up YouTube, JoshahOfAllTrades, and today I'm talking about Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 4, The Spoils of War. Before I get into the meat of this episode, as you know the drill, I'm telling you everything about it. I'll say spoilers, I'm going to say everything freely there is to say, so if you haven't seen the episode, watch it first and then come back and watch my review. That being said, I'm getting into it. This episode was good. It definitely had its ups and downs. One of the high points of which being the reuniting of the Starks. We got Sansa, we got Brandon, and we got Arya all back together at Winterfell. And it's almost poetic in that we're coming full circle and there's this whole story. They each had their own narratives, their stories diverged, and then they all came back together. It's really nice seeing them, even though they're not the way they used to be. You know, we're going to see everyone back together, and I feel like they're going to share a strong bond to the end of the series. Speaking of strong bonds, Jon Snow and Daenerys are also sharing a pretty strong bond right now. Their relationship is getting better after he goes underneath her castle. He shows her all the dragon glass. And then he shows her some pictures of White Walkers that were a little suspect. I mean, come on, Jon Snow's all like, the first people and the children of the trees were down here, and they made these pictures that show the White Walkers. And like Daenerys is all super into it, but even as we're watching it, like my girlfriend's like, I'm pretty sure Jon drew those like 30 seconds ago. And so that part felt a little forced for me. That's the part of this episode that I did not enjoy. It felt like they needed to give some White Walker backstory and a little more exposition, even though we've had it in past seasons, maybe just for people that are joining. They tried to make it seem like this was an ongoing thing, and it definitely felt forced. But oh well, getting to the highlight, that battle at the end was crazy and it was unexpected. I'm starting to see this trend that we don't know when the action is going to happen. It's just coming up typically towards the end of the episode, but it's just springing up on us, and that's kind of cool. But coming out of the big battle at the end of this episode, there are a few big takeaways that I got. The first one being that there was some exposition earlier in the episode that Cersei needed the money to repay the Iron Bank. Now, my girl isn't in trouble either, because as she's speaking to the guy, he's saying, hey, we enjoyed those interest payments, and she said, well, I'm just going to take care of this right now. But it seems like it's within her means to service the debt, and even if she doesn't have the money to repay it right now, like, she can get it at a later time. Like, Cersei isn't in trouble, so while this is a setback for her, it's not a complete blocker either. The second big thing I saw coming out of that battle is, of course, Daenerys got knocked down a peg. She was getting really cocky about these dragons, and you know, it was a cool scene when she went out and yeah, she burned up all these guys, but her dragon got hurt, and she's starting to understand like that was her A game. That was the secret weapon, and now they even have a defense for that. So Daenerys is going into a weaker and weaker position as the episodes go on in Season 7. But the most interesting insight that we got out of that battle was all about Tyrion Lannister. And he's a guy that he's a mastermind. You know, he's likable. We all like his character. But I think he cracked in this episode. The first taste of it that I saw was when the Dothraki guy says to him like, hey, your people aren't good at fighting. And he feels kind of hurt by that, because not only is it kind of an insult directed at him, but it's an insult that coming from the Dothraki, like these savage guys from Esteros, like he's the outsider, like he's still a Lannister in their eyes. And on the flip side of that, he's still a Lannister in his own eyes. I mean, sure, he hates his sister, and yeah, like maybe he murdered his dad, but he still loves Jaime, and he still has loyalty to that, and it's something that he can't really break. Like even when he saw in front of him that Jaime's about to die, he doesn't want it to happen. And so if he was the one making the decision, of course, it would be a hard no. And it's going to be hard for him getting behind anyone else who's going to say, yes, kill Jaime Lannister. And until that's resolved, it's going to create a lot of tension in any relationships that he has with Daenerys or anyone else on her side. So going forward, I think that's the number one thing. Like, Tyrion needs to get in check. He's in a bad position where he is. And he can't stay faithful to Daenerys while also rooting for the other team. I mean, this is Abraham Lincoln 101. A house divided cannot stand. So I don't see Tyrion staying in the spot that he's in. There has to be a little bit of shuffle up here. Best thing I see for Tyrion is him going back with Jon to the north, because he's got a good relationship with everyone. Him and Sansa are on good terms. Him and Jon are good. He can go up there and be the strategist behind the White Walker thing. But Tyrion doesn't belong on the front lines of battle between Daenerys and Cersei anymore. Now, like I said earlier, I think Cersei's going to be alright. She's not doing great, but she's not in a terrible spot. Daenerys is in a terrible spot because she's stretched thin. She's losing a lot of resources. And then on top of that, there was that scene when Theon came to ask her for help. And so now she has her problems to worry about. She's got Jon and the White Walkers, and then she's got Theon pretty much saying like, hey, don't think about the battle right now. Help me come get my sister and fight Euron. And I don't think Daenerys has the patience or time to give these other people effort. So I really see Jon's not bending the knee. You know, he's not going to be faithful to Daenerys, so he's going to go back to the north with all the dragon glass, and maybe at a later time he can come back and help her, sure. And I don't see Theon or any of the few Greyjoys being available to help Daenerys either. So I think Daenerys is going to be stretched super thin, and whatever move she makes next is going to have to be really smart so that she can take a big win without a lot of resources. And come on, am I reading the situation right? Let me know what you think. I mean, is she going to bend and help Jon or help Theon? Leave a comment below and let me know if she's going to do one of those things, or if Daenerys is just going to stay on her grind doing her own thing, because I don't see her wavering to help one of these other guys. I just don't. So that's what I got from episode 4. I'm super psyched to see what's coming up next in episode 5. I'll be watching it and then leaving a review afterwards and talk with you guys about it later. So I will see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.